It is common to assert that Brazil is a country of continental dimensions. It counts with 8.5 million square kilometers, 51% of the territory of Latin America. Brazil has a population of 200 million people, 48% the population of Latin America. These people live far from the agricultural and industrial production areas. The economic development of the country with such characteristics depends very much on the transportation sector. Unlike most countries with large territory, the railways and waterways in Brazil are underdeveloped. Thus, the roads are used to transport 58% of the country's value of freight, or $92 billion per year. This revenue is divided into the following. Companies that have logistics as their core business, as carriers and logistics operators, have revenues of $36 billion per year. Industries and companies that have their own fleet of trucks spend the amounts equivalent to a freight cost of $9 billion per year. The other $47 billion of freights per year are paid to the independent truck drivers who drive their own trucks or trucks of small companies. Thus, more than half of the value of the country's freight comes from third parties for a community of approximately 600,000 professionals who earn, in average, $6,500 per month, considering that most of the drivers work with their own truck or the truck of a family member or a friend. Many of them have no formal business or employment relationship, which created a distinctive mean of payment, the carta frete. Carta frete means freight letter. It is literally a typewritten letter with no legal value and that records a commitment. At the gas stations, the truck driver converts this freight letter into cash. Thus, a great part of these professionals are disconnected from the formal economy, do not have a bank account, medical assistance, retirement plan, or access to credit in order to switch the truck or to finance a property. Brazil has a tax burden of more than 1/3 of GDP, and the government has no political conditions to enlarge it. Once the need for cash is growing, the alternative is to increase the income-passing collection, reduce tax evasion, and the informality. This necessity is in line with the political position of the government clearly in favor of social inclusion and citizenship. So, in 2007, the profession of independent truck driver was regulated. In 2009, the Pro Caminhoneiro program was launched, which is a credit line for long-term with shortage of 180 days and negative real interest rates for fleet renewal. However, not many truck drivers manage to adhere to the program due to their impossibility of proof of income, and average fleet rate is 19 years. Finally, in 2011, by law, the freight letter was prohibited. The new law is not an isolated action. It is a government policy. The solution to the formalization of the truck driver profession, reinforced by the prohibition of the freight letter, is the electronic freight payment. RIPAM is a pioneer in this market since 1999 and was the first company to be approved to operate in the new model. The prohibition of the freight letter is promoting structural changes across the whole road transport market. These changes are being encouraged by the federal government. But like any structural change, its implementation is complex and will not be solved from one year to another. However, the initiative goes beyond the formalization of the truck driver's category. It is a motion of no return. It is the policy of the government and was revealed by its electoral value, also incorporated into the discourse of opposition parties. The formalization process of Brazil was an opportunity to grow, and now this new law will allow RIPAM to grow even faster. It is estimated that 94% of the $47 billion of freights billed by small companies and independent truck drivers operate with a freight letter. From the 6% of the electronic freight payment market, RIPAM has a share of 60%. This means the company operates at the equivalent of $1.7 billion in freights in 2013. Relying on the experience developed with independent truck drivers since 1999, understanding how they live, Knowing their needs is a considerable competitive advantage in the search by Repom for the 94% of the market that during the next few years will be obligated to adapt to the needs of the country.